Second data through books, magazines, journal, newspaper, Google, that is social media, okay, Google, web sources, that's called secondary data. So always in the research, the two type of data will be available. Okay. Experiment case relevant already explained earlier. Next one. Yeah, now analyzing the data. Data analysis. What do you mean by data analysis? What do you mean by data analysis? Now what I have done? We have collected the data. We have collected the data from here and there. What I want to do? How many male? How many female? Percentage. Okay. Okay. The age group. Let's say 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. We need to classify it. Right? And afterwards, based upon the objective, based upon the hypothesis, we need to analyze the data. Whether we should apply chi-square, whether we should apply ANOVA, whether we should apply t-test, f-test, MANOVA, ANCOVA, MANCOVA. Yeah, it's there. When it is controllable, when there is a control factor, ANOVA will become ANCOVA. When it is a controllable factor, ANOVA will become ANCOVA. Okay. Next, regression, correlation. Okay, some model. Goodness of it. So which type of analysis you need to use? That will be decided based upon your objective and hypothesis. Okay. We are not engaging of analysis part because next sir Jamal sir will come and he will be giving the guidelines. Okay. Now analyzing the data we will do based upon data collection based upon objective and hypothesis. Which test we want to apply, that will be deciding based upon the objective and hypothesis. Next, we will analyze the data. After analyzing the data, what is supposed to do? We should interpret. After interpret, we should draft finding. We should write finding. Okay, where now I have told that there is a perception. What kind of perception? Positive perception or negative perception? If it is now correlation partner, if there is a positive value, what I will tell? Yes, there is a positive association between angel investor and venture capital. There is a positive impact between employee incentive and employee productivity. There is a positive impact of macroeconomic variables and gold price. Now correlation, regression, about we will tell the answer, right? That is why in finding we will go and we will draft. We will tell that which next conclusion. Okay, after conclusion, we should write suggestion. The suggestion should be for the government or for the respondent or for the company or for the public. And important is not suggestion, important is managed discussion. Important is managed discussion. What do you mean by managed discussion? Managed discussion means, for example, I will tell, yeah, I will take up one particular topic related to forex market, foreign exchange. Now, sir has done foreign exchange research paper. He has drafted the finding. Madam has done a foreign exchange market. Madam has drafted one finding. Madam has done one more research paper and she has drafted the finding. Now, in my research, what I can do, I will also write one finding by comparing with all these three. That is called managed discussion. On the paper, in that paper, we got this solution. In that paper, we got this finding. In this paper, we got this finding. But I got this kind of finding. Whether it may be, whether it may be different or whether it may be same. Because they have done in Bangalore and he has done in Coimbatore. He has done in Pune and she has done in Delhi. I have done in Chennai. Whether this answer may be same or else it may be different. In the moon different answer. Like in the moon answer that is no difference. This is called managerial discussion. What is managerial discussion? It is a discussion which will be written by the researcher by comparing with the 3 or 4 articles, which is well top-notch article. And last is future study. Last is further study. This further study means where we are going to. Okay, this is the pattern you want to follow to write a research paper. First one, step one. Okay, before starting the research paper, we need to draft research problem. After research problem, at the time of writing, first step number 1, introduction. Step number 2, review of literature. Step number 3, step number 4, research question. Step number 5, read of the study. Step number 6, step number frame objective and step number 7, research methodology. Let of the researcher. Okay. Under research methodology, types of research, certificate. Conclusion, right? Findings, no conclusion. Next step, suggestion. After suggestion, conclusion. Conclusion and suggestion are important. Next is managerial discussion. Managerial discussion will be in course web of science and PPTC channel. Managerial discussion, they will check whether this paper is authenticated or not. Okay. Now, can anyone come to Deas and can anyone tell me the flow of research paper? First, I was told the correct secondary. Please give me pick up first over. No. Seriously. So, you can talk about it.
Hello everyone, my name is Jayashree and I'm from RPG. I'm a second year PG final year student. I'm going to explain that. Sorry, I'm going to share you the steps from the before section. First step is introduction, and the second step is first step is introduction. Second step is review of literature, and the third step is statement of problem. Step number 4 is research question. Step number 5 is maybe for the study. Step number 6 is framing objectives and hypothesis. Step number 7 is research methodology. It all comes under that is types of research methods and data collections, etc. Step number 8 is after research methodology, analyze the data. Step number 9 is conclusion. Step number 10 is managerial implications.
தெரியும் நீங்க வந்தா கொஞ்சம் பழைய இருக்கும் ஓகே பட் ஆனாலும் வந்து சொன்னாங்க இல்லையா that is what they need to give big applause once again. This time sir, I think it's enough because I just gave around 5 articles to the organizer to showcase the pattern. One paper I just how we are drafted, how I have wrote the research paper. It will take 2 minutes of time. You can see. Anyone? The lean management, lean management, employee motivation, employee satisfaction, HR practices, or financial remedies. Jayram 3 follow. Yeah. Yeah. Friends, you can see here, there is something called abstract. Abstract is nothing but whatever you have drafted the research paper, it should be one paragraph. The summary. Okay. Okay. Trailer. The next one. Just again clear. There should be keywords. Keywords means which is an important keyword in your research. Here I have told lead management, lead time, quality improvement, and productivity. This paper we have published in the year May 2022. Okay, clear. I think yeah, let's see. In 2022 or 23, I have published this paper. First, you have seen the intro. As here, the lean management I have given, I gave history because the lean management, the people will think that it is old concept, it is a new concept. Lean is new concept. It is not fine. Because of that, I have just to show the brief lean. Okay, now you can see that December 2022, I have published in the month of July. Okay, next one. Okay, review of literature. You have seen the review of literature, but this review of literature won't accept for the APTC journal and Scopus because they will they according to their standard they require review of literature in paragraph. In one article I should write only 3 to 4 words. That's all. It means that it will be having 20 paper, 20 paper, 20 sheets. Out of 20 sheets, I should draft entire thing in one particular line. That's prepare actually, if next after the review of literature, yeah, this many of review of literature, yes, ma'am. And here statement for problem in introduction itself because this journal has asked me that sir question research ki aap ellame intro dalla kududunga sir ante henceforth everything I have drafted in introduction and now next is we have framed the objective of the study and based on the objective you can see I know this is the first objective is secondary data. Secondary objective is primary data. For that objective, we have framed the hypothesis. First, there is no significant difference. Just I am showing the headings. Next, area of the study, important scope of the study means in which area, Bangalore, Chennai, okay, or South India, okay, or North India, which particular place you are going to do a research. That is scope of the study. Okay, my research PhD, when I have done the PhD, I have taken selected cities in India, all over India, Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Kochi, Mumbai. 6 cities at that. Major investment. Next, yeah, scope of the study. Next, research design. In that methodology of research, you can see types of research, analytical and descriptive research. Next, sources of data, primary sources and secondary sources. But in one paper, research methodology, okay. Next, sampling size, sampling technique. I have used convenience and stratified sampling. Why? Because I have made a group on the group and major investment group. After that, according to my convenience, I have taken the data. Okay, sampling. Okay, next sampling size. You can see that 208. I have taken the respondent. Okay, on the lead management. Lead management what we have done. Here the data is collected from the automobile industry. Automobile industry, I have made a stat of that. employees according to the plant, branch according to the plant, we have status and we have collected data. So I have distributed around 250 questionnaire, and out of that 220 like that we have and but it has fulfilled is 208. Next tools I have applied. I have applied in this results simple percentage analysis, ANOVA, correlation, exploratory factor analysis, multi cross evaluation, t-test I have used in order to validate the data. Okay, I have told right which type of test you are going to use. It is depends on analysis and interpretation. Please. Okay, you can see that for 208 as male, female, we are just bifurcated. Keep on education, qualification, occupation. These are all the what as demographic analysis, demographic factors. After that, we have used the these are all the analysis part. Mean difference, t-test, okay, Apple no factor analysis. Idella photo. These are all the analysis we have used. Yeah. Now next finding, conclusion, and suggestion. Okay. Yes. Please. Down. In this paper, no. In this paper, you cannot see managed discussion, finding, conclusion, next suggestion, and last there will be reference. Bibliography. You may ask, sir, why managed discussion is not there? Because as you know that every day it's called as learning process. Why I have told managed implication, managed discussion. When I wrote a research paper to the Scopus and Web of Science and ABDC, they asked me that managed discussion there should be. And they only told me that what do you mean by managed discussion. And what I am sharing with you people. Now, if you see my Scopus or ABDC journal paper, then you can see that managed implications. Okay, ABDC journal okay, for your information, they will charge around 50,000 to 20,000 rupee. Okay, if it is A category journal. But for me, God bless, we have tied up with, I have tied up with one hero professor and Pune principal. We have applied and we have waited for 1.5 years. 1 year, more than 8 months to publish in ABDC journal. ABDC journal publish பண்ணனும்னா free of cost publish பண்ணிருக்கோம். நான் போட்டு job satisfaction, employee satisfaction at the time of COVID. Yes sir. At the time of COVID, but it has published in the year 2023. You just imagine more than 1.5 year. Okay, but ana quality ஆயிருக்கும், ana பேர் வந்து எல்லாரும் ரீச் ஆகும். Right? Go back. That's all. Because there is no time. Otherwise, I would have showed all the 5 research paper. With that, at last, dear friends, take home this message. Abdul Kalam sir has told, if you salute your duty, you don't need to salute anybody. If you salute your duty, you have to salute everybody. It means that நீங்க interview போறீங்க, if you are very capable, don't need to salute anybody. உங்ககிட்ட பொருள் இருந்தா no need to salute anybody. If you don't deserve, then you need to salute everybody. And so please, my message to you always, there should be something called CID. CID means commitment in the work, involvement in the work, dedication in the work. That the CID will become if you have only one D. What that is D? D is called as discipline. Discipline. A for 1, B for 2, C for 3, D for Sato. I for 9, S for 90, C for 3, I for. You just do a mathematical calculation. If you add all this, it will come 100. 100. It means that discipline is most important in the life in order to go higher and higher. Higher. If you have a discipline, of course, CID, commitment, involvement, and dedication. இது நான் சொல்ல திருவள்ளுவர் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க 131 திருக்குறள். ஒழுக்கம் விழுப்பம் தரலாம் ஒழுங்கும் உயர்னும் ரொம்ப வரும். Character will be decided based upon our behavior. Our behavior will decide upon based upon my discipline. Henceforth, with that, I want to thank the principal of Vidhya Sagar College and all the HODs and faculty members for giving me an opportunity to share the views and thoughts about how to write a research paper. Sign off. Thank you.
So for education words, wisdom and proper guidance. We have now reached a short break. That's how we arrange for the participants from other institutions, and I invite everyone to enjoy their discussion. Please ensure to be back here on time after 5 minutes, as we will resume our next session shortly at 12:30. Here once again. I sincerely hope you enjoyed our first session and found it valuable. Your enthusiasm and participation made it a great success, and I truly appreciate your engagement. Let's Ajit. Now we move forward to our next session. Let us continue this journey of Now it's time for a very special moment, honoring our esteemed chief guest. I request our beloved principal ma'am to honor the chief guest. I request our beloved principal ma'am to honor the chief guest. I also invite the heads of the department to join us. I invite Mrs. Anita Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to introduce our esteemed chief guest. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished chief guest, Dr. S. Tausi sir, for this one-day international level seminar on evolutionary research writing and publication organized by the Department of Commerce. Dr. S. Tausi currently serves as the Assistant Director and Assistant Professor at the Center for Distance and Online Education at B.S. Abdul Rahman Research Institute of Science and Technology. Dr. Tausif has an in-person academic background, BTech in ECE from B.S. Abdul Rahman University, MBA from Danish Herman College, PhD in management from Agapar University. His area of expertise cover a diverse range of disciplines such as fundamentals of research, human resource, finance, international business administration, marketing, and international trade finance. In 2020, the Association honored him with the International Young Scientist Award. With over 3 years of research experience and 2 years of organizational experience, Dr. Tausif has made significant contributions to academia and research. His academic achievement includes publishing 34 articles with 31 publications at national and international level, ISSN and ISBN. Writing and publishing 2 books, Product Policy and Brand Management and Principles of Management. Attending 17 national and international conferences, 13 seminars, 3 workshops, webinars, orientation programs, and training sessions. We also acknowledge Dr. S. Tausik's involvement in the field of intellectual property with the patent title Reduction of Crop Yield Using Agricultural Parameters in the Domain of Computer Science. On behalf of Vidhya Sagar Women's College and the Department of Commerce, it is my immense pleasure to welcome Dr. S. Tausik as our distinguished chief guest for today's session. We extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Let us have a productive and insightful seminar today. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am, for giving us the views in the remarkable work of our guest. Now, I am handing over the session to Ms. Jessie.
Now it's time to hear from our esteemed guest, Dr. S. Tausuk, Assistant Professor at Preston Institute of Science and Technology. We really look forward for your insights. Welcome, sir.
Happy afternoon. Why happy? Happiness is success. Success is not happiness.
Once again,
Okay. So statistics. It's too complicated, right? I tell you what. You all believe this statement. India is the rich country whose people are poor. You accept it or what? India is a rich country whose people are poor. You accept it? Similar to that, statistics is simple. The thing is that you are making things complicated. Statistics is very, very simple. The thing is that if you listen to me for next 40 minutes, you may easily able to come up with all kind of articles and theses and interpretation, what all it requires for even doing analysis or under research. I tell you what, first you need to unlearn some of the things and then to learn some things. That is, when it comes to very fundamental things, when it comes to very fundamental aspect of statistics, there are only 2 types of data. In research, you might have learned that there are different types of data like scale, ratio, there are nominal, ordinal, but in reality, when it comes to statistics, there are only 2 different types of data. One is categorical, and second is the metric. One is categorical and second is a metric. So I'll tell you what this categorical is all about. Male, female, what do you prefer, tea, coffee? So these kind of data is called as a categorical data. And what is a metric data? Any data that deals with number or a Likert scale based option. Any data that deals with number or a Likert scale based option. Say for example, what is your age? It could be 31, 32, 28, 24. This could be a number, right? So this is called as a metric data. And I'm not talking about the categorical options. Under what category that's your age falls into. Say for example, is it 0 to 25 or 26 to 35? That is a categorical based question. I'm simply telling anything that deals with numbers or a Likert scale based question is a metric data. So there are only 2 different types of data. What are those? Categorical, metric. Anything that deals with categories, groups like male, female, smoker, non-smoker. So these are called as categorical data. Anything that deals with numbers or anything that deals with Likert scale based option with more than 60 samples is a metric data. So why do I need to learn this? With this, you may be able to determine what kind of analysis you need to perform for your article work or you need to perform for your thesis work. So stay tuned. I know
It's really hectic. Hungry is directly proportional to angry. So listen to me because this could change you. This would be a really changing point because this kind of shortcut is not being told by many of these statisticians because these are money for them. Okay? So listen to me. This is what I used to tell my students. Don't read but learn. Listen, learn. Okay? Okay, coming to the point. So when it comes to statistics, we are doing statistics only for these 4 reasons. We are doing all sorts of statistics just for 4 reasons. To identify whether one variable is significantly different from the other variable or what. Whether the two variables are associated with one another or what. Whether the two variables are having relationship with one another or what. Whether the variable, one variable is influencing the other variable or what. It is for only these purposes we are doing statistics. Statistics is as simple as this. We are doing all sorts of statistics for just these 4 reasons. To find association, to find the difference, to find the relationship, to find the influence. It is for these 4 reasons we do all sorts of statistics. Now the statistics is simple, right? Now you got the bird's eye view. We are doing all sorts of statistics for only these 4 things. Say for example, how to determine what kind of analysis I need to perform based on my question. That will be your fundamental question, right? That will be your fundamental question, right? You have framed a question for your study. You have framed a question for your study. Now you will have a question. So what analysis do I need to perform? How do I need to determine what statistical tool I need to use? What statistical technique do I need to use? Answer is very simple. If you follow this particular steps, what I'm going to teach you for next, I said 49. Okay, let me now go on to 35 minutes. You may easily come up with a solution. The very first thing is descriptive statistics. I don't even know what is descriptive statistics. That's as Sad word is describing. But little more, I would like to exemplify. Okay, next slide. Generally, if you are going to deal with a particular single data set, we will generally use this kind of descriptive statistics or a percentage analysis. As I have shown in the paper, right? For demographic profile, you simply done a percentage analysis. You can do more than that. You just wanted to know how many males are there, how many females are there, how many people are there in rural, or how many people are there in urban. That's it. Simple percentage analysis more than enough. But descriptive statistics is a little bit different. When it comes to descriptive statistics, this is what is descriptive statistics. This is what descriptive statistics is all about. Whatever you learn in descriptive statistics, it all falls under one of these 5 criteria. Meaning, that is average value. If possible, I will try to perform an analysis. Excel. Okay. So, for example, scholars, right? Great. So, you know the gold price. For past 5 years, it was fluctuating, high volatility. Was fluctuating like anything. During the current time, there is a price hike of nearly 30%. You know or what? Now it's 32%. So on an average, for the past 5 years, on an average, the gold price was nearly around 6,000 something. Now it's 8,000 something, 600 something. It was around 6,000 something. Okay, for past 5 years. This average value is called as mean. For example, sorry, which is more common for you, English or English or okay, bilingual. Okay, சரி ஓகே நான் இந்த வேலையை விட்டுட்டு ஒரு சர்வீஸ் ஷோரூம் நடத்துறேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஒரு பைக் சர்வீஸ் ஷோரூம் இல்லை ஒரு என்கிட்ட ஒரு பைக்ஸ் வருது, ராயல் என்ஃபீல்டு பைக்லாம் வருது. ஒரு 10 பைக் வந்துருக்குது. அந்த 10 பைக்கு நான் மைலேஜ் செக் பண்றேன். Checking the mileage. The first bike is giving me a mileage of nearly 30 km per liter. The second bike is 32 km per liter. The next bike is 26 km per liter. Next is 24. So I got 5 bikes. So on average, what will be the mileage? What I will do? Divided by 5. All mileage divided by 5. This is what is called as average value. This is what is called as mean. Mean. Anna basically somberi. I don't want to check the mileage of each and every vehicle. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to arrange all the vehicle first come first basis. First in the vehicle once I've arranged one, second in the bike, I have arranged all the 5 bikes. I'm going to take the middle value, the middle bike. That is one, the third bike. Ingerent bike, testing ingerent bike testing. So Nadula bike I'm going to check the mileage. And it is around
Medium.
yeah, 30. So it is a medium. If you are basically so many, you can go for medium. If you are going to go with a limited set of samples, you can go for medium. If you are going to go with more number of samples, you can go for medium. Okay, now you got me. Now, another so many. Please don't mistake me. Okay. So median is nothing but the middle value. Mean is the average value. Mode is the most repeated value. And kilometer mileage. So I assume that 30 is on an average value. So this is what is describing. So when it comes to gold price, it's like on an average, the gold price was 6,000 for past 5 years. The middle value is during the third year, it was around 6,006 rupees. So I am assuming that as the mean value. Sometimes it happens. And then comes standard deviation, how far it deviates. And then comes main, the kurtosis, the skewness. If you are going to deal with analytical data set, analytical design, if you are going to deal with stock price or if you are going to deal with secondary data, it is better to know about the kurtosis and skewness. I tell you what is kurtosis and skewness. Kurtosis is nothing but a measure of weakness. Measure of weakness. Gold price போன டைம் பயங்கர ஹை அடிச்சுப்பா. இத மெஷர் பண்றதுக்கு SPSS we have to PSPP நிறைய tools இருக்குது. I will tell you later. So if the value is greater than 3 plus 3 or if it is less than minus 3, we can say that there is a huge weakness here and there. So that is what is kurtosis. Skewness is something like, for example, you are all my student. You are all my student. I'm giving an exam for you very for which the questions are very tough. Majority of the people will fail, right? Majority of the people will fail. So this is normal distribution. If I keep an exam that is almost on an average, everybody will be getting a mark between 50 to 40. But in case if I give the exam very hard, what happens is that majority of the people, very least people will be getting more than 70 marks. Majority of the people will be getting less than 70 marks. This is what is called as positive student. Opposite to that, if I keep the exam very in an easy way, most of the people will be getting more marks, right? So that is what is called as negative student. So just learn about this. Okay, if you are going to deal with secondary data analysis in your thesis or article, know about this. Mean is the average value. Median is the middle value. Mode is the most repeated value. Deviation is how far the value is deviating from the middle value. And the kurtosis and skewness. Now getting into the topic, that is getting into the statistics. Next slide. Sir, I have a question. Sir, I have a question. The very first section is fully demographic question. Everything has an option. Everything has a categorical option. Male, female, gender, age category, less than 25 to 30, 30 to 35, like that. And area of residence, rural, urban, semi-urban. Okay, so these are all categorical data. Sir, I'm performing analysis. I'm doing research with respect to consumer behavior. As I told, consumer behavior with respect to cosmetic products. Okay. Relevant, right? Okay, cosmetic products. Satisfaction. Under satisfaction, you have asked nearly 10 questions, which are all legal skill based questions. You will be asking, right? Strongly disagree, neither agree nor agree, strongly agree. Legal skill based question. If it is legal skill based question, what is the data type? Metric. Good. So, if two data are categorical, if the first question is categorical, that is gender, and the second question is also how you rate the product quality, high, medium, low, only 3. It's not a legal skill based question, right? 3 options are only there. The legal skill based question should be 5 or 7 points. These are high, medium, low, 3 categorical question. If two data are categorical in nature, then you need to perform association test. What kind of test? What kind of statistical technique do I need to use for association test? Nothing but chi-square test and correspondence analysis. As simple as this. If you are having two data and both the data are having categorical options, go for chi-square test. Simple. Or correspondence analysis. Okay. So I tell you what this correspondence analysis is all about. Correspondence analysis is a big brother for chi-square analysis. If both the questions has more than two plus options. Say for example, male, female, so male, female, transgender. Three options is there, right? For quality, three options is there. Then you can go for correspondence analysis. If only two options there for one of the questions, that is male and female, you cannot do correspondence analysis. You can do only chi-square test. Okay, simple, right? So when it comes to statistics, the very fundamental thing is that if both the data are categorical in nature, then what you need to perform? Significant association test. Using what statistical technique? Chi-square test or correspondence analysis. Very simple. Yes. Say for example, you may ask me a question. Yeah, that's a say for example, I'm going to the cancer institute. Actually, I went to a cancer institute. I just asked two questions. Are you a cancer patient or a non-cancer patient? Are you a smoker or a non-smoker? Both the questions are categorical, right? Both the questions are categorical. Are you a smoker or a non-smoker? Or are you a cancer patient or a non-cancer patient? With these two questions, I found that majority of smokers are cancer patients. Majority of smokers are cancer patient. So now I would say, right, there is some association between smoking and cancer. Can I say a word? You answer it a word. That's it. And you may have a question. We can also say significant relationship, no, sir. We can also say significant relationship, no, sir. No, my say. Say for example, Oscar, sir, right? Okay, great. I think I judged the name right. Okay, so Oscar, sir, now, running race. Oscar, sir, பின்னாடி அவங்க wife வருவாங்க. அதனால என்ன பண்ணுவாரு? விட்டா போறனால வேகமா ஓடுவார். உசைன் போல்ட்டுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. But me on the other hand, I don't have any motivation behind me. So what I do is that I will run in nominal speed. I will run in a nominal speed. I don't have any motivation behind me. So the thing is that if he's running at 20 kilometers, say 20 kilometers per hour, and I am running at 8 kilometers per hour, அவர் 200 மீட்டர் கவர் பண்ணிருந்தாங்க, நான் 8 மீட்டர் கவர் பண்ணிருந்தேன். அவர் 2 கிலோமீட்டர் கவர் பண்ணிருந்தாருன்னா நான் 800 மீட்டர் தான் கவர் பண்ணிருந்தேன். You accept me or what? Do we have a relationship? Yes, we both are running. We both are doing same activity. Speed is measured in terms of numbers. 20 kilometers per hour and myself 8 kilometers per hour. So the thing is that we have a relationship. We have positive relationship. Yeah. This is what is called as correlation. If two data are metric, then you need to do correlation analysis. And here, the most fascinating thing is that if the masters are now opposite direction, do we have a relationship? Do we have a relationship? Actually, yes. Yeah, you're doing same activity. You're running. Which means, but the things are opposite direction. If others are close to 200 meters of friend, I cover 8 meters back. Negative relationship. If the population increases, GDP decreases. We have to pay a lot. If the industry index increases, the GDP increases. We have to pay a lot. Industry index, GDP, both increases, which means positive relationship. If the population increases, GDP decreases. Negative relationship. Both are numbers. So relationship could be both positive and negative. Whereas association you cannot say it's positive or negative. But smoking has positive association in one. Smoking has association with cancer. That is what we would say. We cannot say positive association. Okay. So if both areas are negative in nature, then you have to do significant association test using factor or correspondence analysis. If both areas are metric nature, go for correlation analysis. And what correlation would be positive or negative? Positive relationship or negative relationship? You got me? Okay. So now, if there is a significant correlation, if there is a significant correlation, say more than 60% relationship, say for example, if you consider GDP and industry, in fact, they have nearly 70% relationship. 70% relationship. Then at that point of time, you can go for regression analysis. Regression analysis, simply speaking, forecasting. One word, if I want to say what is regression analysis, it is forecasting. Okay, so if you want to know whether the industry index in fact the GDP of what using the industry index to predict the GDP of what you have to go for regression analysis. For that, the very fundamental thing is that it should be correlating with each other. You got me? Simple three analysis got over. We are doing statistics for only four reasons: significant association, significant relationship, and significant influence, and finally significant difference. So the final thing. All your data are reliable, statistically speaking, using cronbach alpha test. That if possible, I'll teach you to, if I can miss, I'll tell you what is cronbach alpha test. This is a reliability statistics used to measure whether the response from whom you are collected is statistically reliable or not. Okay. Yeah, coming to the point. So what you have to do is that you have to add all, you have to find the mean of all the customer, all the questions in the customer satisfaction, and you have to find the mean of all the values in the customer preference. And then you have to perform. This will be converted into two factors, two variables. All the 10 questions will be consolidated into one mean value. All one question and the customer brand preference will be consolidated into one value. This is a metric value because it's purely based on mean, whatever examples I should be giving. Okay, then if you do correlation, it's right. Statistically. This is how you have to do the correlation analysis. Many scholars, I see that they do regression analysis using the demographic questions. Statistically wrong. 100% wrong. You cannot do regression analysis using categorical correlation. That is a separate set of regression analysis like logistic and some other things, which I don't want to cover. I don't want to push you to stress. Oh, but this is the aspect. Okay. So coming to the next category, both data are categorical association. Both data are metric. You have to do correlation or regression. If one data is categorical, another data is metric, you have to do different. Say for example, I'm running a service center. Company has a plan that Royal Enfield Royal Enfield meter. I can go with the scooter. Okay, scooter, scooter. TS only scooter TS, right? Okay, great. So company is claiming my TS scooter and Jupiter are giving the same mileage. Same mileage. So now you are into the process of checking whether what is it is right.
1. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check the mileage of 10 previous Jupiter. On an average, the mileage was 32. Okay? On an average, the mileage was 32. And now you're going to checking the mileage of Jupiter. You have considered 10 vehicles and you have measured the mileage of Jupiter. It is giving 36. Now, what will you say? There is a significant association in the mileage, or there is significant relationship in mileage, or there is significant difference in mileage, which is logically right. Difference. You cannot say there is significant association in mileage. Logically wrong. You cannot say significant relationship in mileage. Logically wrong. There is significant difference in mileage. What is the categorical question? Previous Jupiter, previous Jupiter. Categorical question. What is the metric data here? Mileage. Numbers. So if one data is categorical and another data is metric, what are we do? Significant difference test. Significant difference test. There are different types of significant difference tests. Say for example, independence ability test, ANOVA, one way ANOVA, and parallel ability test, MONOVA, ANOVA, so on. But I leave the basic difference. Very simple. Very simple. Think as your mobile. You know what is mobile phone will do? It will have your brain and enter your heart. இப்பதான் வாட்ஸ்அப்ல ஸ்டேட்டஸ் போட்டுருக்கீங்க இருந்தாலும் மனசு கேட்காது யாராவது உடனே அந்த மாதிரி whatever I'm saying now, take it to your heart. Very simple. Because many scholars make these mistakes. If you are having only two categorical options, say for example, male and female in gender, okay? There are only two options, right? You are going to compare it against the customer satisfaction. You are going to compare it against the customer satisfaction. It's a different question, right? So one is metric data, another is categorical data with only two options. Then you have to perform independent sample test. If categorical data has only two options and another one is data type is metric, then you have to do significant difference test using independent sample test. If you would be able to memorize these four tables, what I have illustrated in this class, you will be able to do all kinds of statistics. All kind of 80% of the statistics, because there is 80-20 ratio. Think like when it comes to statistics, 80% of your work will be completed with these statistical methods and techniques. What I'm telling you right now, only 20% will go for a higher end. Okay, so this is what is 80% statistics. Don't worry, I have shared notes. I have shared notes with ma'am, in which within one page you may have a clear view of what kind of analysis you need to perform, what kind of statistical technique you need to apply for the given data set that I have shared with ma'am. She'll be sharing with you. And I also, don't worry about the research methodology, I have also consolidated the entire research methodology in just one page, front and back. If you can see, you may be able to clearly visualize what this research methodology is all about. So try and learn it on the okay. Coming to the point. Yeah. Now, if you have more than 2 plus categorical options, if you have more than 2 plus categorical options, say for example, what is the age category you belong to? 0 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, more than 2 plus options, right? At that point of time, we need to perform ANOVA test. At that point of time, we need to perform ANOVA test. If you want 2 options in categorical data, what do you do? Independent sample test. If more than 2 plus options, ANOVA. And there is a separate category called just one way ANOVA. Many people think in a different perspective. I think what is very simple. You don't have a category option itself there. Say for example, companies have planned a mileage of nearly 32 km per liter for the Jupiter vehicle. TVS Jupiter company line பண்ண mileage என்ன 32. That's standard value. That is the only categorical data. Standard value. So, and you are getting nearly 10 vehicles. 10 vehicles को mileage check பண்ணீங்க. On an average, same 32. So what will we say? There is no significant difference in the mileage climbed by the TVS Jupiter and the mileage given by the testing vehicles. There is no significant difference. So standard value ANOVA test போட முடியும். இல்லனா போட முடியாது. Okay?
You got it? Then comes the parametric test. Now I go to training. Statistical knowledge before my training, what is the level? Have you understood what kind of statistical technique do you need to apply for your own research, for your own article? And have you understood what this entire statistics is all about? What was your knowledge before the training on what was knowledge after the training? So that is what is called as a paradigm sample test. Here the categories are same sample before and after time interval. Okay, this is what is paradigm sample test. Simple, right? All of the statistics. Believe me, that is what is statistics. Statistics is simple, right? Don't ever bother about the algorithms. Don't ever memorize the formula. We have tools for that. So you don't need to worry. But just a click of some few buttons, you might end up with the answer. If you believe your word, right now the statistical tools and techniques are wonderfulness. It's not necessary to go for yes cases. There's something called PCT. Complete computer. Completely open source. Same data visualization. Better statistical output. May able to find. There are ways. Okay. So we are doing the entire statistics for only 4 reasons. What are those 4 reasons? Significant association. Significant relationship. Significant difference. Significant influence. If both data are categorical in nature, chi-square test. Significant association. If both the data are metric, correlation. If there is a significant correlation, what we have to do? Next step, forecasting, regression. If one data is categorical in nature, another data is metric in nature, what we have to do? Significant difference. What are the different types of detailed container? What are the different statistical techniques there for that? Independent, ANOVA, one way, and there is some called as multi-way test. For example, now mostly as a say for example, what this multi-way test is like, instead of doing tests independently for age and customer satisfaction, gender and customer satisfaction, area of resistance and customer satisfaction. If I want to go all in just one way, that is what is called multi-way test. It performs all t-tests with all categorical data for a given data set. That is what is multi-way test. Multiple ANOVA. Simple. Multi-way test is multiple ANOVA, where there are more questions, categorical questions. That's it. Okay? Very simple. Going to the next. This is the entire summarization table. If you could able to understand this, obviously this is what is the entire statistics. This is what is the entire statistics. Don't worry much, okay? So single data go with percentage or different statistics. If both the data are categorical in nature, if both the data are categorical in nature, if one of the options have only 2, then go for association test using chi-square test. If the categorical data are having more than 2 plus options, more than 2 options, go for correspondence analysis. If one data is metric, another data is also metric, then you need to do relationship test using correlation analysis. If both data are metric and it has correlation, go for regression analysis. If one data is category in nature, only 2 options, which are 2 options, and another is metric data, you need to do different tests using independent sample test. And if one is having 2 plus category data and another is metric data, you need to do for one more test. Similarly, if there is a standard value, if there is a standard value, then you need to go one way ANOVA. And in case if there is a time metric, then you need to go parametric sample test. These are called parametric tests. These parametric tests will generate and in case if the data are already distributed and have about 60 plus samples, but in case if you have sample less than 60. Recently, I have conducted a study with the the study was all about how far the AI is improvise the productivity and profitability. Being a consultant, it was like I got only 38 samples. or only 38 samples. At that point of time, you cannot use mean as the value for analysis statistically. எப்படி சொல்லலாம்? Yeah. If you are collecting nearly 100 samples, for the 4 சொல்லுவோம், for the 3 சொல்லுவோம், for the 8, 5 சொல்லுவோம், on an average பார்த்து கரெக்டான வேல்யூ வரும். ஆவரேஜ் வேல்யூ வரும். ஆனா நீ கலெக்ட் பண்ணதே 3 பேர் இருக்கான். நீ கலெக்ட் பண்ணதே 3 பேர் இருக்கான். ஒருத்தன் 1 சொல்றான், ஒருத்தன் 5 சொல்றான், ஒருத்தன் 4 சொல்றான். ஆனா உனக்கு வர ரிசல்ட் என்ன? ஆவரேஜ் வேல்யூ என்ன? 3 point, which is completely irrelevant. Nobody have answered that question. Nobody have answered that option. Right? So at that point of time, you have to consider only the middle value. So when the sample is less, you need to analyze using median. And the median analysis for non-parametric. Yes, you got me. So these are all the parametric tests. So these are all the non-parametric tests. So instead of here correlation, here we will use the Spearman rank correlation, and instead of here we will using the independent sample test, we will be using matrix mu test or Kruskal-Wallis test. So as simple as this. When the sample is high, those are the analysis you need to perform. If the sample size is less, you need to do the non-parametric test, which is very similar to that. But the thing is that deals with it. Now you got the concept clear, right? Statistics is a simpler one. Because you don't need to memorize at this point of time, in this 21st century, you don't need to memorize formulas. You don't need to work out anything. Everything is done by software. So what all the thing is that you need to have fundamental knowledge of what are the data types we have, and with the data types, what analysis, what statistical techniques do I need to do. Now is the concept here. What is the time? Within smile. 25 minutes. Yes. I think, I hope I have got the concept clear. Is the concept clear now? I will listen to me well. I will learn well. This is a little bit advanced. Advanced in the sense, we call it a structural equation model. Generally, commerce students and as well as the management students, we perform the SEM model. And I tell you what, I tell my scholars that you no need to prove that actually statistically speaking, when it comes to SEM, it could be segregated into three parts. That is EFA, exploratory pattern analysis, then comes confirmatory pattern analysis, and finally SEM. And even EFA has 3 parts, CFA has 3 parts. But I think what all these are done for only 2 reasons. All these are done for only two reasons: to find the mediation effect and to find the moderation effect. To find the mediation effect, because statistically the tools like SPSS, PSPP does not allow you to analyze the mediation effect and moderation effect. To do this specifically, we have created a software called as the OMOS and other things to measure the PLS, other PLS, to measure the mediation effect and moderation effect. I tell you what this mediation effect is all about. Say for example, job roles and responsibility. Job roles and responsibility. Incentive. Job satisfaction. So you wanted to know whether job roles and responsibility directly leads to job satisfaction, or job roles and responsibility and its equivalent incentives leads to job satisfaction. So this is what is called as a mediating variable. It takes part in the analysis. It takes part in the analysis. So what would be your result? Your result would be either job roles and satisfaction itself creates a job roles and responsibility itself creates a job satisfaction sometimes, or sometimes it will not create, because job roles and responsibility will not create job satisfaction. Rather, job roles and responsibility with incentives creates the job satisfaction. So there is no direct impact, only indirect impact. So direct impact and indirect impact are measured using the mediation. Whereas moderation is something it will not take part in the analysis. It will just influence the value result. So that is what is called as mediation and moderation. But in case these are the other types of analysis generally we use, these are the mostly secondary analysis. So I don't want to complicate. Let me put in a very brief way. All these are regressions. All these are nothing but regressions. To forecast the time series data and to forecast your delicacy based questions. That's it. As simple as this. These are different types of regression, but now we call it on regression is done with more data arithmetic. That's it. So the different types of regression fall out under different categories. So that's it. The statistics is done. Statistics is simple, right? So talking about the different tools, yeah, we have many open source actually. Yeah, like the father is Excel. The father is Excel. You won't believe me. You can perform all kind of statistical analysis using Excel. You go to the data analysis tab. If there is no plugin there, install a plugin and go to the data analysis. You may be able to analyze all kinds of statistical technique using data analysis. You won't believe me. The thing is that you have all modern statistical techniques and even charts to support it. And then comes the Power BI for generation and filters and EDU for secondary data analysis, PSVP, which is completely open source software. PSVP is a completely open source software, it is a competitor for SPSS. So you can use all these statistical tools to perform the statistical analysis. So now moving on to the main thing. So now I got to what this entire statistics is all about, right? Is everything clear? Have you understood? Let me ask you a question. If both the data are metric, what kind of analysis I could do? Correlation, right? So if there's a significant correlation, what I can supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do? Right direction. If both the data are categorical in nature, what am I supposed to do? As chi-square. That is what is called as association. Great. Okay. If one data is categorical in nature and another data is metric in nature, what am I supposed to do? Difference test. Very good. What are the different types of difference test? Independent sample test. What is the criteria? There are the category options should have only two options. Super. If there are two plus options, ANOVA, great. If the same sample is determined before and after time interval, what kind of test do I need to apply? Great. If there is a standard value, what am I supposed to do? Super. And what is this mediation? Whether this data will take part in the analysis or not. Mediation moderation. Mediation, the variable will take part in analysis. What is the example I've given you? Job satisfaction as a dependent variable, job roles and responsibility as an independent variable, incentive as a mediating variable. Job roles and responsibility will not, I'm assuming, will not directly lead to job satisfaction, but job roles and responsibility through incentive will lead to job satisfaction. So moderation is that it won't be acting as mediating variable. You won't be having an arrow mark. You'll be having the arrow mark in the line. So it will just influence the result value. So that is what is called as a moderation effect. Now, while writing the thesis and article, these are the important things you need to remember. This I have to say because in the 21st century, if you are not going through this way, your article will never be selected. People think plagiarism is a very important aspect with respect to article writing and thesis writing. No, not at all. Yes. The thing is that the first and foremost, when it comes to plagiarism, you will be penalized. There is a huge penalty. You believe me or what? Even after getting the degree, the doctorate degree, if people found that you have many plagiarized content, there is a huge possibility of your degree getting, completely removed off. So the thing is that as per the UGC norms, as per the UGC 2018 notification, you need to make sure that there is less than 10% pleasure
price. And the thing is that 10 to 40% with respect to thesis is acceptable, but the thing is that you need to make a minor correction so that it falls under 30%. It should fall under 30% for thesis, and for article it should be less than 50%. For article it should be 50%. If it is less than 10% for thesis or article, highly acceptable. But if it's for thesis, if it is less than 30%, it's acceptable. More than 30%, you need to undergo the correction. But for article, it should be less than 50%. Okay, as per UGC norms, you need to make sure it is plagiarism free. And the most important thing is that don't go with the local software. Go with the high software alternative. And if you are in the process of creating your dissertation or thesis, don't ever check your thesis in the output. It will give you very least plagiarism value. Go with Turnitin. If the Turnitin plagiarism value is less, then it is very highly acceptable and highly, because in Urkut, if it directly falls on the directory, it will be a very hectic task to remove that. Then, second, next one. AI generation. People think that only the plagiarism is not accepted. No, we are now generating AI report also. If you have a Turnitin software, now you may be able to see that there is below, you may be able to see the option, right? AI generated content. You need to make sure that your article or your thesis, whatever you are writing, falls under this category. It should be less than 20%. That itself is practically impossible in current scenario. So you need to make sure that whenever you write a thesis or article, the AI content generated in Turnitin, there is a report called as AI generated content. And it should be less than 20%. If it is greater than 20%, your thesis and the article will not be selected in a very reputed journals. You won't believe me, the thing is that the scenario completely changed. Actually, recently I published a journal in Social Science and APTC. The criteria have restricted, it's like it's not generating they are not just watching the quality of the article, they are making sure that the article is plagiarism and AI content. That much they have followed. And obviously, we are looking at the innovation, innovativeness in the content and the aspect. But the thing is that this is what don't generate content using AI. It's completely descriptive. It's not insightful. Generate your own content. Same for example, I told you in the very first chance, right? In India, India is a rich country whose people are poor. This is human content. If I ask the AI, what it will say? India is a nation with a GDP of so and so, and has a population of so and so. Completely descriptive. Talking holistically and talking descriptively is completely. So, if you are using, see, this is what the UGC in 2023 they have during the December they that if you are using AI tool like ChatGPT, grammar or full bot, you need to make sure you can use that only for grammar correction. You can use that one only for grammar correction, not generating content. And if there is a generated content or the image, or especially in the critical thinking area, the article or the thesis cannot be approved for the selection criteria. And this is a thesis and this is a research article format as per the UGC guidance. As for the UGC, see, we think the UGC is just illustrating how a university or a college has to move on. No, they are giving guideline for each and every aspect, especially in the field of research. As for the UGC guidelines, this is the format you have around for the thesis. You should start the title page, the certification, declaration, abstract key, university development, research, introduction, review of literature, research methodology should be separate chapter data analysis and interpretation findings, reference in proper format and manage chapter. And if you're writing an article, you need to make sure that it should have title, abstract, and keywords, introduction with background, review of literature, methodology, data analysis and discussion, findings and conclusion, references, and generally the word counts should be between 3,000 to 6,000. This is the most accepted format for as per the UGC guidelines. Okay, so and the most important thing is that when it comes to research methodology, I have given a notes, just one page notes, just you make use of it because
Generally, if you are in the Viva or if you are into the any aspect, you will be asked only these fundamental questions. Like, what is the research design you have adopted? Justify. What is the sample size you have determined for the study? Justify. Why the study area? Justify. And what kind of sampling technique you have used? Justify. So these are very fundamental questions with respect to research methodology. And I also illustrated how to tackle those research, I mean those questions. These are very fundamental questions, man. You can easily tackle. Who I have you should know these very fundamental. Okay. So so as of now, the UGC is organizing the journal list. Try to publish. Sometimes the university may ask for scopes or web of science. Many universities are asking that so that their reputation with respect to the global level could be able to increase. But as far as the standard guidelines, if you could be able to publish in a UGC calendar journal, that's more than enough. At that point of time, it should be cancelled. That is also more than enough. After that, getting delisted is not an issue. So whenever you publish a journal or an article in UGC journal, you need to make sure that you take a print out that stating that it is being listed at that point of time when you publish the article. If it is as per the government rule, it should be accepted. Yeah. So consequences, I told you, right? Yeah. So the pro tips is that try to use the one name. I don't suggest Udcode and limit the AI tool usage and always try the AI content. Finally, the references. Okay, so this is all important steps what we have to remember by writing the article and thesis. So now, so what are the things to remember? No. Things to remember. Things to remember. Things to remember. First slide. Avoid plagiarism. Try avoid plagiarism less than 40%. Whether it's article or thesis, that will be better. Second, avoid using the AI content. Next slide. Avoid using the AI content. Only for grammatical check, you may go for AI. Don't generate content using AI. The next, this is a prescribed format for article and thesis. Many university or even the research guides doesn't understand this. They follow their own set of protocols. This is how the chapter has to be. The first chapter has to be introduction. Second chapter has to be literature review. Third chapter should be research methodology. Next, the data analysis. And fourth should be analysis. Such information. That should be only 5 chapters. That's more than enough. You don't need to break down or split up these kind of chapters into multiple things. So this is what they expect. And when it comes to article format, this is the prescribed number as per the UGC norms. But the thing is that this is acceptable in the UGC Cabinet Journal. But if you're going for ABTC or Scopus, they will be asking a different set of format. Okay, you need to follow that format only. So go for, yeah. Actually, I suggest the actual research, based on my experience, the thing is that the actual research happens when you complete your PhD. What you're undergoing right now is the process of experiencing and experimenting yourself. What this research is all about. So the thing is that don't push yourself. Learn. So learn what this research is all about, and then finally implement it. So this is what I have taken. Go for a normal, if you are in a state of government university, UGC carries journals more than enough. Don't push yourself into Scopus or web of science because it may take a year in process of more than 6 to 8 months just for first review. So by the time you complete it, you may not even able to publish 1 or 2 journals. So this is my suggestion. If they are accepting this, move on with it. Okay, but if not so, you have to go with some. Okay, so these are the things. So is everything clear? Am I simple to understand? Really? Okay. So which means I have told everything. Now how to judge people? If someone speaks and if it's very simple to understand, he's telling. And if someone speaks, it's complicated to understand than this stem was. So I hope you all have understood. And simple and clear, right? The statistics is simple, right? So now you're able to do the statistics for your own question, right? Great. Okay, man. Thank you all. Thank you, God.
Finally, it's an appreciation to all the participants who have engagement. We will now proceed with the certificate distribution session. Now I invite our guest, Dr. Tawfiq Islam, and a beloved Minister Madam to distribute the certificate to the participants. I request our heads to join. Now I invite participants of Honor Institute of Science and Technology. All participants from Honor Institute of Science and Technology are forward. I invite all the participants from RPG Arts and Science College.
வீடியோ மூடு பாஸ்ட் ஓகே
I call upon one where University.
கோட் கிளியர்
I call upon Anay Teresa Science College. Next, I invite Vidhya College of Arts and Science. Next, I invite Akshaya College of Arts and Science.
I Akshay College to join the student.
Next, I invite Akshaya University.
Now I invite Anupam Vinayaga colleagues. I invite some colleagues. I invite Sharanya Madam to receive, research scholar to receive the certificate. I invite each of the college students. Anyone? Okay. I invite a young business student. PNB or academic college students. Anyone else to receive certificates? I invite Vidhya Sagar to the college. A big thank you for all your participation in this seminar. Thank you all dignitaries.
I'd like to invite Mr. Sophia, teaching finance of the Department of Performance. They will thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. So, this is Dr. President, Department of Performance. I'm deeply grateful to have the opportunity to express our collective appreciation. And it's my pleasure to proudly present this thanking note on behalf of our management and Department of Performance. First and foremost, I would like to thank our esteemed speaker, Dr. S. Taufik sir, for sharing invaluable insight and expertise with us. Thank you, sir. Your presence not only improves our understanding of statistics for disease and article writing, but has also inspired us to explore new ideas and perspectives. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our respected faculty members for their tireless effort in organizing the seminar. Your dedication and efforts are truly appreciated. To all research scholars, professors, participants from various institutions, I would like to thank you for your active participation and engagement throughout the seminar. Your enthusiasm and curiosity have made this event memorable one. Once again, thank you for all making this national level seminar a grand success. I hope that knowledge and insight gained from this event motivate us in our academic and professional pursuits. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kavya, for the wonderful thanking you. The kind words and appreciation for everyone else was really made the event complete great. I request everyone to stand for the national anthem. Yeah. 20 minutes of feedback. So that's how we have it. Please join the match. Thank you.